One of the very important sources for that, your YouTube videos, for the explainers, the MCQ series on different reports, budget, economic surveys, that provided me with very good practice. I also extracted content out of those explainer videos to include in my notes.
Oliveboard का वो mentorship प्रोग्राम था, उसमें अनिल सर के 2-3 सेशंस हुए थे, तो उन्होंने भी गाइड किया कि क्या अप्रोच रखना चाहिए, अगर मेंस का पेपर के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए अगर अप्रोच रखना है तो वो कैसे रखना है, तो इस तरह से ओवरऑल फिर एग्जीक्यूशन के साथ में हुए।
Hello everyone, welcome to Oliveboard. Good afternoon to all of you guys. Welcome to the first lecture. We'll be discussing about the RBI Grade B finance part here. This is a memory based paper of 2024 that we'll be discussing about in this particular video. Okay, and welcome to the free rankers batch, guys. We'll be doing a lot of sessions in this particular batch, that too free of cost for all of you. Okay guys, so good afternoon everyone. Let's start now. If you have joined the paid course, you can definitely check out the test section. All the previous year questions you will be getting here related to the RBI Grade B examination, right? And in this particular lecture, I am going to discuss about the 2024 finance part and 2023 finance part, right? So let's start the discussion quickly. The very first question, it came in 2024 examination. What is the regulatory limit for investment in the small and medium real estate investment trust? Okay, so what should ideally be the asset size of the small and medium real estate investment trust? REIT related things are very important for your examination. Okay, so what will be the approach of this particular session is, would love to see your participation as well. Let me know what is your opinion in the comment section, and then we can discuss this particular question. What do you think, guys? Should be the correct choice here? Any idea? And here if we talk about the REIT, then in India one company got the first approval to launch the REIT, right? Can you guys name me that as well? It can come directly in your examination. It can come directly in your phase 1 examination as well, or maybe phase 2. The correct choice here will be, guys, 50 crore. Okay, 50 crore. So if you want to start an REIT, real estate investment trust, then you need at least 500 crore to launch a REIT. But if you want to launch the REIT, the asset value that you need is just 50 crore. Okay, the asset value that you need is 50 crore here. Next one, and here you can see that SEBI has introduced the concept of small and medium real estate investment trust, targeting the property value from 50 crore to 500 crore. So even with the asset size of 50 crore, you can start a REIT. And can you tell me the name of the first REIT, REIT, which recently got approval from SEBI? I think it was Aurum PropTech, right? Aurum PropTech. So please do remember that, can come directly in your examination. Important topic for your upcoming 2025 RBI Grade B examination. Next question is, what are the ways and means average WMA limit? What are the ways and means average for the second half for the financial year 24-25? So this is related to your previous year. So that's why earlier the limit used to be 50,000 crore. And if I talk about the new limit, can you guys tell me the new limit? Anyone? What is the new limit for the first half of financial year 2026? We are talking about the financial year 2026 first half. Can you tell me the limit of the first half of financial year 2026? I'm talking about the ways and means average limit. Anyone? Look, as per the PIB data, we can see that due to fixing the temporary mismatches in the government amount, in the government accounts, this particular ways and means advances is nothing but to fix the temporary mismatches that are there in the government advance. RBI has fixed the ways and means advance limit for half year 1 of financial year 2026 at 1.5 1.5 lakh crore. Okay, this is for the half year one of financial year 2026. For the second half year, as of now the data is not yet declared, so you can use this particular data for the first half year of financial year 2026. 1.5 lakh crore is the data. You need to remember this one for your examination, and in case if they declare the data related to the half year 2, we'll be discussing that particular data as well. Okay guys, next one. How many secondary users can be delegated access in the UPI circle, Unified Payment Interface circle? How many secondary users can be delegated access in the UPI circle? Everyone in the comment section, guys, would love to see your participation. That's what the idea of doing the live session is, so that you guys can interact with the faculty members. The more you interact, the better your learning experience will be. And I don't care if you are even giving the wrong answer, because that's even fine. This is not the examination. We are doing the preparation for the examination, and it's fine now if you are even giving the incorrect answer. The whole idea is to fix all the problems or the concepts that we are lacking in. Yes, very good, Arshit. 5 is the correct choice. Okay, 5 is the correct choice. For non-banking financial companies, which risks are considered in the capital to risk asset ratio calculation, CRAR calculation? For the NBFCs, which risks are considered in the CRAR calculation? Any idea? Credit risk only. Option B, credit and market risk. Option C, market risk only. Option D, operational risk only. Option E, all of the 3. What do you think? Look guys, here all the 3 risks are covered. Okay, all the 3 risks are covered. Next one, to which of the following was the settlement timeline for the debt securities and the non-convertible bonds reduced from T+6? So earlier we used to have a T+6 settlement for the debt securities and non-convertible bonds. I'm talking about the debt securities and the non-convertible bonds. Then SEBI reduce the timeline to T+3. Okay, and can you guys also tell me the IPO listing timeline? What is the IPO listing timeline as of now? Let's suppose I want to list my share. So what will be the timeline? Let's suppose today is the last day of application. Now in how many days I need to do the listing of my equity share? Can anyone tell me that? It is also T+3. Okay, please do remember, it is also T+3. Okay, the IPO listing timeline is also T+3 only. Now here we are having some para-based questions. Let's quickly discuss these para-based questions as well. The first one is, to enhance the transparency and investor convenience in the debt securities, recent reforms have been introduced targeting the retail investment process. These measures emphasize digitalization and use of streamlined tools to make the transactions more efficient. Under the new system, applicants will be expected to provide linked payment credentials during the subscription phase. So the first thing is, they are talking about the debt securities. There are some new reforms in the debt securities. Okay, now this is a memory based paper. Definitely it can be somewhat 19-20 as compared to the actual exam para, right? Nobody can replicate the actual exam para. The reform will apply across a variety of debt instruments and are expected to be rolled out in phases beginning in late 2024. We are first reading the paragraph and then we'll be discussing about the questions. Okay, the intention is to reduce the reliance on manual processes. So we are curbing the manual processes as of now and the traditional banking rules, promoting the use of faster and safer alternatives. One particular approach encourages the use of payment authorization system and temporarily block funds, right? Payment authorization system, and temporarily we are blocking the fund in the user's account until the allotment is completed. That's what we also follow in IPOs. With this framework, the regulators aim to safeguard retail investor while bringing the domestic system in line with the international benchmarks. These changes are part of broader modernization strategy in the financial market, with regulatory bodies leading the effort to improve the investor's experience and mitigate the transaction risk. Definitely, multiple times we don't get any hints from the para. Okay, usually the questions are too direct. Still, we always have to read the complete paragraph. Okay, we always have to read the complete paragraphs. We have seen some of the times that they can ask questions. You will be getting some hints in the paragraph as well. Okay, so always try to have a quick reading related to the para, and also try to थोड़ा सा आसपास के एरियाज के अंदर भी you need to work on कि okay, if the para is related to the debt instruments, then what are the things that you studied in the finance current affairs or in the RBI circulars in the past 6 months related to debt securities. So under this updated framework, what is the maximum amount for which the retail investors must use the designated fund blocking method for applying for these debt securities? Let's suppose I am applying for a debt security. I am a retailer. I am applying for a debt security. What is the maximum amount that I can use via the designated fund blocking? There was a particular designated fund blocking. Can you tell me the maximum amount that can be blocked? Anyone? Yes, Aditi. 5 lakh is the correct choice. Okay, 5 lakh is the correct choice, guys. And can you also tell me what is this particular method? What is this particular designated method here? According to the revised protocol for subscribing to the debt securities, which of the following is the specified method for blocking investor funds? What is the specified method for blocking the investor funds? The options are net banking, check payment, UPI, ASBA. ASBA means application supported by blocking amount, and option E, direct bank transfer. So prima facie, whenever we do the question, we think like it's ASBA. Why? Because it's the most prevalent method. In all the IPOs, we are using ASBA methodology, but here we are talking about the debt security. Here we are talking about the debt security. Yes, Aditi, ये उस टाइम के circulars है. So the best part about analyzing the previous year question paper is we come to know the methodology, or I can say the mindset of the person who is setting the paper, right? So definitely we are doing the previous year questions, but in the coming sessions I'll be also telling you how the questions can come, what kind of paras that can come in your examination, and in the previous year question as well, just like अभी जो मैंने आपको SMREIT का बताया था, right, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रस्ट का बताया था कि इस बार क्या क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि पहला रजिस्ट्रेशन, पहला अप्रूवल सेबी ने किसको दिया है. सो दैट इज ऑरम प्रॉपटेक, राइट, एंड वी हैव डिस्कस दैट क्वेश्चन इन द finance current affairs series as well. So these previous year questions, I know that these are old circulars, but what will be helpful for you guys is our discussion, like what kind of questions that can come, right, in the upcoming examination. So here the correct choice is UPI. Up to 5 lakh rupee you can go ahead and use the UPI, right? So SEBI mandated UPI for the public issue applications. I'm talking only about the debt securities. Now someone can argue, sir, I to apply via ASBA system in IPOs. This is not about just the IPOs, it is about the debt securities, okay? So UPI mandate, individual investors applying for amount up to 5 lakh through the intermediaries will be required to use the UPI to block the funds, right? Not just ASBA. Up to 5 lakh you need to compulsorily use the UPI here, right? Okay guys, next question. Who has issued the latest procedural reform for the debt security subscription as discussed in the passage? One of the most easiest question of the examination, I can say. सबसे easy question. जो कुछ नहीं पढ़ के गया होगा, he or she can also answer this question. Obviously it is Securities and Exchange Board of India, option C, SEBI, right? SEBI, because SEBI is the capital market regulator here, guys. The implementation of the new subscription guidelines for debt securities is scheduled to begin from which month? So again, you can have a look that they are also asking dates related question, month and year related question. So all the important SEBI circulars, all the important RBI circulars, we need to have the idea of the applicability date. We need to have idea of the applicability date, guys. Please do remember. That's why I always cover dates related questions as well in the finance current affairs session and the RBI session. Why? Because sometimes they can directly ask you date, and we have to only remember the date of the important RBI and SEBI circulars, not to have too much pressure related to dates, because I can say that this is unfair if you are asking multiple dates in the examination, right? Examinations are there to test the conceptual clarity and not just about remembering the dates, right? Still, we will be remembering some of the dates related to the important RBI and SEBI circulars. Okay, guys. So if I talk about the circular which is related to AIF, alternate investment funds, right? Then co-lending arrangements, non-fund based facility circular of RBI, you need to remember the dates, the applicability dates of these circulars. Okay. Next one. Let's quickly read the para and then go ahead with the questions. In the recent year, India has witnessed the emergence of a special type of banking institution aimed at improving the access to the financial services in the areas with limited formal banking presence. The first keyword, limited formal banking presence. Aimed at improving the access to the financial services at the limited formal banking presence, or can I say that these are underserved areas, unserved or underserved areas. देखो SEBI circulars की playlist आती थी, I have covered. I think there is no specific playlist for the SEBI related circulars. I'll definitely talk with my team regarding that, because most of the SEBI related videos are also we have published, right? I'll get them added for sure. But if I talk about the finance current affairs, we already cover most of the important SEBI circulars in the finance current affairs session as well. Okay, so again, you guys cannot leave the finance current affairs. RBI circulars is what I can say. These are the two most crucial areas, both for your phase 1 and for your phase 2 examination. For SEBI also, we'll be definitely bringing some more sessions on the circulars part for sure. Pravik, no problem at all. So the regular videos of the RBI website, of the RBI circular, SEBI circular, finance current affairs session, I think they are more than enough to cover. Okay, and obviously if you are a part of the paid batch, then no problem at all. We are giving so much content completely free of cost, so you can just imagine what things we cover, at what level we cover in the paid batch, right? All these things are part of your paid batch as well. Plus there are some detailed sessions in the paid batch as well that will definitely help you. If you are preparing, if you are doing the self study, then definitely I can say that finance current affairs, RBI circular, SEBI circular, there is a complete coverage on the YouTube sessions as well, so you can definitely utilize this. Okay guys, let's get back to the para. So in the para we can see that the aim is to improving the access to the financial services, limited formal banking presence, where the limited formal banking presence is there. These institutions, through smaller in size, these institutions are those smaller in size, serve a strategic function by offering tailored credit, again tailored credit keyword, saving solution for individual and small businesses, सबसे बड़ा keyword, in the economically weaker region. Now you can easily judge the first question by this particular para. By this particular para, you can easily judge the first question. Let's complete the para first and then we'll be moving to the questions. Their operations focuses on reaching out to the segments often overlooked by the mainstream financial systems, including informal workers, small scale entrepreneurs, again a keyword. Can you guys tell me which bank we are talking about here? Which category of bank we are talking about here? And the people in the remote and underserved areas. Unlike the conventional commercial banks, these entities emphasize community engagement and provide basic yet crucial financial services. Again a keyword. Again a keyword. Right? So I'm marking all the keywords here. This bank is offering tailored credit services first of all, right? The aim is to improve the access to the financial services and to give formal banking presence. Remote or underserved areas, again a keyword, right? Beyond financial transaction, these banks also contribute to the broader development of goals by promoting awareness about savings, about budgeting, about responsible borrowing. So they are also providing awareness. I can say that financial literacy, right? They are helping individuals and small businesses, that too in the underserved areas. So here is the first question for you guys based on the para. Which category of bank is being described here? Which category of bank is being described here? Cooperative banks, payment banks, microfinance bank, small finance bank, or regional rural bank? What do you think, guys? Should be the correct choice. Now they have clearly given you the hints in the para. Smaller in size, strategic function, individuals and small businesses. They are giving tailored credit service, and we all know that these banks that are giving the tailored credit service is nothing but small finance banks, guys. Small finance banks. Payment bank हो नहीं सकता. Why नहीं हो सकता? क्योंकि offering tailored credit. Now payment bank cannot give tailored credit service or even the credit service, right? So payment bank तो possible ही नहीं है. Regional rural bank, cooperative bank ये भी बिल्कुल अलग चीज़ है. These are the features of small finance banks, guys. These are the features of small finance bank, okay? Not the cooperative bank. What is the main goal of the banks mentioned in the passage? Yes, वो community engagement देख के confusion हुआ होगा definitely, but all the features are related to small finance bank and not the cooperative banks, right? What is the main goal of the banks mentioned in the passage? And that's what they need to do. They will confuse you guys in the examination, but you need to always focus on the broader concept of the passage, because there will be some words that will be definitely creating a confusion in the examination. That's what the purpose of making a perfect passage based MCQ is. What is the main bank? What is the main goal of the bank? The main goal of the bank here is serving the financial needs of the underserved population, and we have seen that in the keyword as well, right? They have clearly written that remote or underserved areas. Okay, so sometimes in the passages you can get questions like this. I will say that this is a easy to moderate level question. Why? Because if you are able to judge small finance bank, then rest of the things you can be easily in a position to answer, right? Which of the following group is the primary target of the banks discussed in the passage? Which of the following groups is the primary target of the banks discussed in the passage? Now they've already given you the target group. They have already given you the target group. And guys, whatever free sessions we are conducting on YouTube, already you can see a comment in the pinned in the comment section, the pinned comment in the comment section. Okay, so you can definitely later on download this particular plan, and please try to watch it live. I'll request you to please try to watch all these sessions live so that you can immediately interact with the faculty members. It will be in the best interest for all of you, right? The correct choice here is small enterprise and low income household. That's what the primary target group of this bank is. Option E. Very good, everyone. Okay, so Rahul, Rajan, Aditi, option E is correct. Perfect. Next one, apart from offering the financial services, definitely this bank will offer the financial services. What other role do these banks play according to the para? So you will be finding that particular role in the last para. In the last para, you can find that particular role. Just have a quick reading of the options and let me know in the comment section what is the role, what is the additional role here. Yes, very good. Promoting the financial literacy. Now, how these banks will contribute to the broader financial development goals? By promoting awareness about savings, budgeting and responsible borrowing, and how you can create awareness by giving them the financial education, by financial literacy campaigns, right? So option E. Now next one is a googly question is what I can say, right? It came in 2024, though it is nowhere related to finance, right? I can say that the part of some part of this question is related to finance, rest of the part is not even related to finance, it's related to ESI. Still it came in your FM paper, right? So no worries at all, we are studying both ESI and finance as well in these free sessions. So definitely you can also expect some of the googly questions, and you might get 1 or 2 questions of ESI as well in finance, or it can be vice versa as well, okay? That we have seen in the 2024, it can again, the pattern can repeat, okay? So let's quickly read this paragraph and then continue with the questions related to this para. In the recent decades, Earth's natural system have shown a sign of distress. With the studies on the planetary boundaries, I'll be marking the keywords, okay? While reading, I'll be marking the keywords. Planetary boundaries. There should be some boundaries, right? We cannot exploit the environment or Earth the way we want to. There should be boundaries. So that's what planetary boundaries is all about. Underscoring how human activities impact the ecological limits. Several boundaries, such as related to water, land pollution, keyword, water, land pollution, have been stretched, or I can say several boundaries related to water, land and pollution have been breached. Indicating risk to the stability of the ecosystem essential for life, these boundaries aim to set safe thresholds, allowing humanity to thrive without overwhelming the Earth's capacity to regenerate. However, industrial expansion, resource extraction and the land use changes have accelerated, placing various ecosystems under the significant strain. To manage these pressure, the global framework have been introduced over the time, starting with the development focused goals. So they are talking about the development focused goals here that emphasized the poverty and health. Okay, so the emphasis was on poverty and health. The evaluation of these frameworks have led to the comprehensive strategies addressing the ecological issues alongside social and economic concerns. Efforts like these have also influenced the environmental initiatives worldwide, encouraging the model that prioritize resource sustainability and waste reduction. These models include rethinking the production and consumption cycles to promote the long-term resilience and ecological health. Now only 20% of the passage will be of real use for you guys when you will be actually solving the questions related to these passage. Only the 20 or 30% of the hardly 20 to 30% of the passage will be relevant. Still we need to read it because we don't know what hint they will be giving you in the passage, right? And what you can do is you can first read the questions and then read the passage. That will again be helpful for you guys in the examination, जिसमें आप लोग comfortable हो. कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, पहले पैसेज पढ़ते हैं then they do the questions. कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, क्वेश्चन पढ़ के उसमें पैसेज में ढूंढते हैं. ओके, बोथ द अप्रोचेज आर फाइन, जो भी आपको ठीक लगे, ठीक है, जो भी आपको ठीक लगे. यूजुअली मैं सेकेंड अप्रोच लेता हूँ, मैं पहले क्वेश्चन पढ़ लेता हूँ, उसके बाद पैसेज फटाफट से पढ़ता हूँ, बिकॉज मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम्स the question hints are not there in the passage, or even if the hints are there, first I'll read the question, so it will be easy for me to understand the hints as well that are there in the passage, right? So that I can relate, like what is the end requirement that I have, that I need to search for. Ultimately I need to solve the question, right? There is no marks of reading the passage, so I usually follow the second approach. Efforts to maintain ecological balance must balance the immediate needs with the planet regenerative capacities. In response to certain sectors, focuses on building more resilient urban infrastructure and improving water resource management to curb the pollution impacts. Yet while government and organization promote sustainability, they are again and again talking about sustainability. Individual actions also play a role in supporting the ecological goals and reducing the ecological footprints. Cooperative goals, global actions and technological advancements are pivotal, with framework and sustainable models aiming to meet both current as well as the future needs. Organizations have called for integrated solution that addresses the interconnectedness issues. So they are talking about the climate resilience, biodiversity preservation and innovative system. Without such efforts, ecosystems may face long-lasting changes with unpredictable outcome, ultimately affecting the communities and economies globally. Now let's have a look at the questions. The very first question is as per the cited report. So this was a report on the planetary boundaries. Okay, there was some report in ESI related to planetary boundaries. This particular para is picked from that report, and these questions are from this particular planetary boundaries report. Humans have crossed the boundaries in which sector? So they are asking you that humans have crossed the boundaries in which sector? The first one is fresh water and environmental pollutants. Second one is related to ocean acidification, land and biomass degradation, atmospheric, and the third one is stratospheric related, ozone depletion related. Okay, what do you think? What do you think will be the correct choice here? And here is the hint that you need to catch in the particular para: water, land and pollution. Several boundaries related to water, land and pollution. We have crossed the planetary boundaries related to water, land and pollution. So even if you don't know, you can judge it with these three keywords, and the correct answer here will be option A, fresh water and environmental pollutants, right? Because they are talking about water, land and pollution. So a more, I can say the most feasible option can be option A here. The most feasible option can be option A here. Okay, though only those students will be able to reply majority of the questions from this para who have read this report on planetary boundaries. Okay, consequently, to tackle the environmental boundary breaches, what initiatives was adopted? What initiatives was adopted? Again, the correct choice here will be circular economy. So again, only those students will be able to reply this particular question who have read the report related to planetary boundaries, because this is a exceptional question, I can say, that came in the finance examination. This is related to the ESI part. What preceded the sustainable developmental goals? So we are having the SDGs. We all know about the SDGs, right? Sustainable development goals. So can you tell me what preceded? What was there before the SDGs? Now this you can tell. This you can tell. If you have read about the sustainable development goals, then you can tell that it was, yes, option A. Very good, Aditya and Rahul. Option A is the correct choice. MDGs were there before the SDGs. Okay, MDGs. The goal of the MDGs ranged from what? You need to tell the goal of the MDGs. Earlier, before the sustainable development goals, we were having the MDGs. What were the goal of him? Of these particular standards? What do you think was the goal? Now only those students who have read the entire history of this SDG topic will be able to give the answer here. Option A is correct, right? Halving of the global poverty and to tackling the HIV related targets was the goal of the MDGs. However, as per my understanding, now it is not so relevant, right? Now it is not so relevant. Still they have asked this particular question in the examination. Okay. हाँ, ये रिपोर्ट कहीं ना कहीं 2023 या 2024 के अंदर ही आई थी आपकी, रिलेटेड टू ये दिस प्लानेटरी बाउंड्रीज, बट एज ऑफ नाउ आई डोंट थिंक कि रिपोर्ट आपके लिए बहुत रिलेवेंट रहने वाली है ना, क्योंकि अब पुरानी हो चुकी है ऑलरेडी, एग्जाम में इसका क्वेश्चन एक आ चुका है, राइट। डेफिनेटली एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होते हैं, बट दिस इज अ पर्टिकुलर एक्सेप्शनल क्वेश्चन, सो इसीलिए. But yes, you can expect anywhere around 3 to 4 questions that can be bouncer in your upcoming examination, and they always come. They always come, right? Bouncers always come. So now we will be discussing about the 2023 previous year question paper. Okay, so before starting the questions, would like to tell you guys we are offering a crash course for your RBI Grade B preparation. This is for both your phase 1 and phase 2. So later on you can check the course highlights as well, and if you want to take the mentorship, you can join this particular batch. Next, we are having RBI Grade B 2023 memory based paper. Okay, सर जनवरी से लेके सर्कुलर्स इज इट इनफ? मेरे हिसाब से जनवरी से बहुत होते हैं, ठीक है. यूजुअली मैं पहले बोलता हूँ कि सबसे पहले लास्ट 3 मंथ्स के कवर करो, ठीक है. तो जून जुलाई अगस्त के सबसे पहले कवर कर लो, सितंबर के तो अभी तक आए नहीं है, सितंबर अभी भी चल रहा है. फिर उससे पहले के 3 मंथ्स कवर करो, उसके बाद भी टाइम बचे तो उससे पहले के 3 मंथ्स कवर करो, राइट. सो अगर आप जनवरी से कर रहे हो तो ऑलरेडी आप सॉर्टेड हो. गुड आफ्टरनून भक्ति, ठीक है. बट द एफर्ट शुड बी 3+3+3. सबसे पहले कवर द लेटेस्ट 3 months सर्कुलर्स एंड फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स. दैट विल डेफिनेटली गिव यू एन एज इन द एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, majority of the times they are asking from the recent circulars and from the recent finance current affairs. Then move to the next 3, and then if time permits you can again study the next 3. Yes, definitely Rahul, you will be definitely capable of that. That's why there are a lot of sessions I can say, plus in this particular free session that we are doing, I can say that I'll be covering RBI circulars, SEBI circulars, finance current affairs and whatnot. So again, you will be having a very good understanding about the finance part, about the RBI, about the SEBI circular, even ESI, PIB also Payal ma'am is taking, right? So there are a lot of sessions I can say, and definitely you will be able to pull the bouncers, but some of the bouncers need to be ignored is what I have learned in my life, right? You cannot attempt all the questions is what I have learned. What you can do is whatever you are doing, do it with full confidence, right? With high accuracy. So accuracy and speed should be the game. 1 or 2 questions, even if you are not able to do, that's completely fine. Okay. Let's start with the previous year question, 2023 finance. A company reports a total income of 100 lakhs. So this is total income. And the total assets are 500 lakh. One of the most easiest question is what I can say. Why? Because ratio analysis is there in your syllabus, and what we have did in the paid classes is almost 50x of this particular level. This is the easiest level. Okay. Personally, if I am setting this paper, I will never ask this question. Why? Because anybody can do it, right? So this is the easiest level I can say of the ratio analysis. And let me tell you guys why anybody will be able to do this. What is return on asset? Return on asset. That means return is on asset. So even if you go with the literal meaning, return is on asset. And now you are just having 2 figures. In the question, the assets are 500. The return is 100. Now, even if you guys don't know that total income is nothing but the return you are able to generate from the asset, still you will be able to do it. Why? Because the denominator is already fixed, right? So even if you don't know the formula, you can easily solve it. 20% is the correct choice. 100 divided by 500 into 100. That's what return on asset is all about. How much amount of sales I am able to generate, how much amount of profit I am able to generate by using the assets here. Right? So ideally it should not be total income, it should be net income, guys. It should not be sales, it should be net income. Okay. So पहली गलती क्वेश्चन की, टोटल इनकम दे रखा है, नेट इनकम होना चाहिए. नेट इनकम का क्या मतलब होता है? प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स. वी ऑलवेज यूज प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स. भाई टोटल इनकम तो सेल्स हो गया ना, रेवेन्यू हो गया, राइट? So please do remember this. और हमने देखो रेशियो एनालिसिस किस लेवल पे किया है पेड क्लासेस के अंदर, और इवन इन द फ्री यूट्यूब सेशन समटाइम्स आई टेक क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू रेशियो एनालिसिस, राइट? सो किस लेवल पे हम जाके प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं और क्या क्वेश्चन आया था इन दी एग्जामिनेशन, एटलीस्ट एक बेसिक लेवल का क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए, व्हाट आई कैन से. ओके. Ramesh lent 25,000 to Suresh for 3 months. So Mr. Ramesh has lent 25,000 to Mr. Suresh. Okay. So Mr. Suresh को कितने दिए? 25,000 रुपए दे दिए. So after 3 months, Suresh will be paying the Ramesh, but Mr. Ramesh asked Suresh to pay Mr. Rajesh. अब ये Mr. Rajesh कहां से आ गए पिक्चर में, समझते हैं. अब Mr. Suresh is under an obligation to pay 25,000 to Ramesh, but in the past, Mr. Ramesh was under an obligation to pay Mr. Rajesh the same amount. So what Ramesh told is to pay directly to Mr. Rajesh. उन्होंने सुरेश को बोला यार एक काम करो, डायरेक्टली पहले तुम मुझे दोगे, फर्स्ट यू विल बी गिविंग 25,000 टू मी, देन आई विल बी पासिंग इट अगेन टू राजेश, व्हाई नॉट यू डायरेक्टली पे टू द राजेश. एंड फॉर दिस पर्पस दे हैव साइंड अ रिटन इंस्ट्रूमेंट, they have signed a written instrument through which the obligation is now transferred to Mr. Rajesh. What kind of instrument? What kind of instrument is this? Yes, Rahul, thank you so much for that. Definitely the whole idea is to boost confidence of you guys. That's why we are doing this free series on YouTube channel. And I personally feel that this will be a game changer series for all of you. Okay, we are just doing a PYQ analysis still. I can share some of the expectations that can come in the upcoming examination based on the previous year question, and that's what the history is all about. It teaches us what can be there in the future, right? And the analysis of history is very, very essential. So काफ़ी लोगों को लगता है सर ये 3-4 एग्जाम के जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस हैं तो वापस आ ही नहीं सकते, सो हम इनको छोड़ देते हैं. डेफिनेटली चलो हो सकता है 5 to 10% क्वेश्चन ही वापस आए, 1-2 क्वेश्चन ही वापस आए, बट इफ़ यू आर कंप्लीटली इग्नोरिंग द हिस्ट्री कि पास्ट में क्या हुआ था आरबीआई में, तो आप कैसे एस्टिमेट लगाओगे कि फ्यूचर में क्या हो सकता है. सिर्फ फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ना कितने पढ़ लोगे, एक बात बताओ, 6 months 10 months, क्या उनको याद रख पाओगे? सिर्फ वही चीज़ें याद रख पाओगे जो एग्जाम रिलेवेंट है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट यू कैन रिवाइज, व्हाट यू कैन कीप इन योर माइंड एंड टेक इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल इज द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स, जस्ट द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स. नोबडी कैन रिमेंबर ऑल द फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स, ऑल द स्टैटिक पोर्शन. यार मैं खुद ही नहीं याद रख सकता, ठीक है, मैं किसी स्टूडेंट से एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करता कि वो 100% पढ़ाई कर लेगा, राइट. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन क्रिएट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स बेस्ड ऑन की प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन में अच्छा ये लिमिट पूछी थी तो इस बार ये नया सर्कुलर आया है तो ये वापस लिमिट इस तरह से नए सर्कुलर में भी पूछी जा सकती है. दैट कैन बी अ बेस्ट लर्निंग इज व्हाट आई कैन से. yes, the correct answer is bills of exchange. Okay, bills of exchange, this is nothing but a bill of exchange here, right? Now later on I have given each and everything for you guys, what is promissory note, what is commercial paper. Later on you can have a quick look about these things as well. Okay, NAPFID, one of the easiest question. NAPFID was proposed under the bill introduced in Lok Sabha in March 2022. What is the focus area of NAPFID? जिसने कुछ नहीं पढ़ाई करी है उसको भी इतना तो पता होगा कि NAPFID का फोकस एरिया क्या है. यस, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, राइट. वो बहुत ही बेसिक क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट वन, in the field of finance, which of the following is considered as an example of AIF? Now this is not a dynamic question, this is the static part. ये आपके AIF वाले चैप्टर में से आया, alternate sources of finance, not AIF but ASF, right? Alternate sources of finance. So this is from the static portion. क्या लगता है आपको, which of the following is a alternative source of finance? Overdraft credit, G6, bonds, बैंक लोन्स या फिर forfeiting? कोई ऑड वन आउट करके भी खेलेगा इसको, इवन इफ यू डू द ऑड वन आउट तो भी फॉरफेटिंग आंसर निकलेगा, राइट. सो आई डोंट थिंक ये वाला क्वेश्चन आपसे गलत होगा. ऑड वन आउट भी करके खेलोगे तो भी फॉरफेटिंग निकलेगा. देख के ही समझ में आ रहा है. right? And what is forfeiting, guys? Nothing but when an exporter, let's suppose I am in India, Rahul is living in USA, so I have exported a machinery to Rahul. The amount is 1 lakh rupee, but Rahul will be paying me the money after 6 months, say for example. Now I am immediate in a need of money, I want that money, but Rahul will be paying me after 6 months. So what I can do is I can go for forfeiting. I'll just discount my bill with a forfeiting company here, right? So if it's a local transaction, if it's in India, we call it factoring. We are just discounting our receivables, right? I'll go to the bank or I'll go to the forfeiting company. Let's suppose the amount is 1 lakh rupee. The company will be paying me 95,000 upfront, and later on Rahul will be paying to the forfeiting company, right? Yes, it's just like factoring. Factoring and forfeiting are the same only, but only one major difference is factoring is in the domestic transactions. Whenever there is an international transaction, importer and exporter are involved, then forfeiting is done, okay? Forfeiting is for the export financing. It's a form of export financing, please do remember. इस पे भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि forfeiting क्या होती है, तो export financing होती है. Next one. In the general context, which of the following is a type of non-tax revenue? GST, custom duty, interest, production duty. यार GST टैक्स से सबको पता है, कस्टम ड्यूटी टैक्स से, प्रोडक्शन ड्यूटीज लिखा हुआ है, इंटरेस्ट के अलावा और कोई नहीं हो सकता, राइट? अगेन 2023 का लेवल काफ़ी नीचे था एज कंपेयर टू 2024 का लेवल, सो लेवल बढ़ता जा रहा है, राइट? एंड विद द AI पेनिट्रेशन मुझे लगता है 2025 का लेवल थोड़ा और बढ़ेगा ही. सो यू नीड टू टाइटन द सीट बेल्ट और बड़ी टाइट प्रिपरेशन करनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है? आई डोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन आ जाएंगे. डेफिनेटली देयर विल बी अ मिक्स ऑफ इजी, मॉडरेट एंड डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस, नो डाउट इन दैट. ऐसा नहीं कि सारे डिफिकल्ट आएंगे, बट बहुत ज़्यादा इजी नहीं आना चाहिए यार, मॉडरेट आना चाहिए. और अगर आपको लगता है बहुत ज़्यादा इजी क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो आप लोगों के लिए बेटर है, तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. जिसका आंसर सब दे देते हैं उसमें कभी कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज नहीं मिलता, राइट? If everybody is able to answer that question, I don't even consider it as a question. Why? Because it will never give you a competitive advantage. And it's about competition here, right? It's not just about studies, it's not just about accuracy and time. It's about competition as well. If everybody is able to answer this question, you will never get a competitive edge. You will get a competitive edge only when majority of the people are failing to answer that question. That is the sad part of the story, and I'm sorry to tell you this. But that's the reality of the competitive examination. If somebody is failing, then someone is passing, right? That's what happens in competition. कोई फेल हो रहा है तो कोई पास हो रहा है. So again, आपको हायर लेवल पे प्रिपरेशन करनी पड़ेगी. Dipesh, this is previous year question, and yes, it is relatable to it is relevant for this particular year as well. Why? Because based on the understanding of the past data, we can predict what can come in the upcoming examination as well, okay? So because of the previous year question paper, we can have a understanding, we can have a quick understanding of the mindset of the examiner कि कौन कौन से एरिया से ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आते हैं, ओके? एंड एट द सेम टाइम अगर आप सेशन को स्टार्टिंग से देखोगे तो फर्स्ट में ही मैंने SMREIT पढ़ाया था, वहाँ मैंने आपको एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन बता दिया जिसका हाई चांस है आने का इन 2025. अब वो फेज़ 1 में आ सकता है, फेज़ 2 में आ सकता है, बिकॉज जनरल अवेयरनेस आपकी फेज़ 1 में है ही, फाइनेंस आपका फेज़ 1 में है ही, राइट? So at the same time, I'm discussing that what can come in the 2025 as well based on the previous year question paper. Again, next question is related to liberalized remittance scheme. Very, very easy question. If you are a resident individual, how much permissible amount of transaction you can do both in current or capital account? So the correct answer is $250,000 US. Okay, $250,000 US. This is as per the liberalized remittance scheme of RBI only. Next one is a para-based question, and I need to speed up a little bit. Why? Because I am having a class at 2 p.m. So we are only having 10 minutes. Okay, let's conclude this quickly. The Indian government prioritizes the financial inclusion as the crucial element for the broad-based economic development, aiming to empower disadvantaged population. This initiative enables the poor participants in the formal financial system for the savings and remittance, liberating them from exploitative informal lenders. I have just started marking the keywords, okay? A significant step in this direction was launch of a key initiative, key scheme. So they are talking about a scheme that came in August 2014, which will be the world's largest financial inclusion program. यहीं तक क्वेश्चन खत्म हो जाना चाहिए, आंसर आपको पहले ही पता चल जाना चाहिए कि क्या आंसर है. वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट financial inclusion program. What is the world's largest financial inclusion program, guys? Again, a very, very simple question. Now they have further talked about three ambitious schemes here: Jan Suraksha Yojana, Jan Suraksha scheme, Social Security scheme. They have talked about insurance and pension, right? Particularly, they have talked about the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, and Atal Pension Yojana. Yes, Dipesh, that's enough. Oliveboard's current affair magazine is enough. Plus, I am doing regular sessions on finance current affairs and RBI circulars every Thursday. Every Friday, I do questions related to that freely on YouTube. So you can again watch that as well. The correct choice here is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. बहुत simple question था 2023 का, right? Okay, guys. So what is the age limit for an individual to enroll in PMJJBY? So the age limit is 50 years. Okay, age limit here is 50 years. We are talking about the Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. Okay, we are talking about the Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. And what is the insurance coverage amount provided by the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana? What is the insurance coverage amount? So the insurance amount was 2 lakhs. Okay, so this is nothing but a scheme based para question, right? This is a scheme based para question. They have asked about the multiple government schemes in this particular one question. Now tell me, what is the maximum fixed monthly pension you will be receiving in the Atal Pension Yojana? 5,000, right? 5,000. What about the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana? What is the premium amount of Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana? It's 20 rupee, right? It's 20 rupee. Next again is a para based question. Okay. This is related to governance in commercial banks in India. So this is from the RBI discussion paper. अब मैं काफ़ी बार discussion paper cover करता हूँ तो students बोलते हैं सर ये क्यों पढ़ा रहे हो, ये तो discussion paper है, ये तो आ ही नहीं सकता है. आप देख सकते हो discussion paper को भी नहीं छोड़ते RBI में, right? So they can definitely ask you some of the questions related to discussion paper as well. Let's have a quick understanding about this discussion paper. That's why I always cover consultation papers of SEBI, डिस्कशन पेपर्स ऑफ आरबीआई, ड्राफ्ट सर्कुलर्स. हम तो ड्राफ्ट सर्कुलर्स को भी नहीं छोड़ते, राइट, कभी, और छोड़ने भी नहीं चाहिए. प्लस इन माई सर्कुलर सीरीज आई विल बी कमिंग अप विद द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट सर्कुलर्स दैट कैन बी रिलेवेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, सो लेट्स क्विकली रीड दिस. द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया रिलीज्ड अ ड्राफ्ट पेपर टाइटल्ड गवर्नेंस इन commercial banks. So they are talking about governance. Now how this is related to your syllabus? कोई आर्ग्यू कर सकता है सर ये क्यों दे दिया, डिस्कशन पेपर थोड़ी पढ़ेंगे हम. अरे भाई कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस तो पढ़ोगे, दैट इज इन योर कोर्स, इन योर FM. So they have fairly asked this question. Recent development in corporate governance is in your course. So they can ask anything related to recent development in the corporate governance. If it is just discussion paper, it doesn't matter. They can still ask it. With the objective of revisiting and improving the governance framework in the commercial bank initiative aimed to address specific operational areas based on the stakeholders' feedback. And as a result, RBI has proposed new guidelines. So RBI has proposed the new guidelines covering aspects such as the role and meetings of the chairperson, composition of the board committee, age limits, tenure, remuneration related to the directors and the whole-time directors. According to the updated norms concerning the appointment of directors and formation of the board committee, the chairperson of the board must be an independent director. Keyword: if the chairperson is unavailable, an independent director should preside over the board meeting. The quorum requirement for the board, they have asked you clearly the quorum requirement of this particular board, right? How much quorum needs to be there here? Additionally, 50% of the strength should be independent directors. So again, this is a crucial part of your corporate governance. This para is from your corporate governance. Can you tell me, as per the guidelines referred in the above paragraph, the audit committee of the board, ACB audit committee, should be composed exclusively of which category of the members? Non-executive, non-independent, independent, promoter, or none of the above? Look, tell me the correct choice here. There are two types of directors. They can be executive directors, they can be non-executive directors. Out of non-executive directors, some directors can be independent directors. Please do remember this classification, very, very important for any examination that you are giving in life, any competitive examination that is having finance, current affairs, circulars, or law, or company law. This much you need to know. The correct choice is, guys, non-executive director. Okay, non-executive director should be the composition of the audit committee board. We cannot have all the independent directors. That's why they have clearly stated at least 50% of the director should be independent director. That's a big hint for all of you. That's a big hint. Okay, so खुद ही बोल रहे हैं 50% होने चाहिए, तो तुम लोग क्यों बोल रहे हो कि सारे इंडिपेंडेंट चाहिए? ठीक है, पहली बात. ये कंपनीज एक्ट में भी था, है ना? तुमने पीएफआरडी में पढ़ा होगा अदिति, पीएफआरडी में पढ़ा होगा. सेक्शन नंबर याद है? देखो, आरबीआई के अंदर देयर इज नो कंपनीज एक्ट. स्टिल आई फील दैट ऑडिट कमेटी का सेक्शन नंबर यू शुड बी नोइंग. सेक्शन 177 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट, ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट 2013. दिस इज द ऑडिट कमेटी का सेक्शन. प्लीज डू रिमेंबर. आरबीआई वालों, आप लोगों के लिए भी रिलेवेंट हो सकता है. फिर मत बोलना सर आउट ऑफ कोर्स था. ठीक है, एनीथिंग रिलेटेड टू कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस इज इन योर कोर्स. दैट्स व्हाट द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ आरबीआई इज. ठीक है, लिख के भेजते हैं कि सिलेबस जो है वो इंडिकेटिव है, एग्जॉस्टिव नहीं है, कुछ भी आ सकता है. Which aspect of the banking is being specifically addressed by the Reserve Bank of India in this particular para? Most easiest question is what I can say. सबसे easy question. अरे इसको कोई भी आंसर कर सकता है. सेकेंड लाइन में इसका आंसर है. And whenever we are talking about audit committee or any other kind of committee, it's always about corporate governance, right? It's always about corporate governance. So इसके लिए तो मैं hardly, I don't think anyone should spare more than 5 seconds on this question, right? If the question, do remember one thing, guys, if the question is not giving you a competitive advantage, it can give you a time advantage. If a student is solving this question in 20 seconds, you solve it in 5 seconds or maybe 8 seconds. यहाँ आपके 12 seconds बच गए. This is also competitive advantage. सर कैसी बातें कर रहे हो आप? तुमको याद आएगी ये बातें एग्जाम में बहुत. राइट, ये काम की बात है बहुत. There should not be just competitive advantage in the level of difficulty, but in time as well, because it's a game of time and accuracy. Okay, it's a game of time and accuracy. Next one, as per the RBI corporate governance, meeting of the Risk Management Committee of the Board, RMCB, Risk Management Committee of the Board, must be chaired by whom? Must be chaired by whom? It must be chaired by independent director. अरे लिख के दे दिया पैराग्राफ में, इससे इजी क्या देंगे? राइट, लिख के दे दिया सामने पैराग्राफ में, इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर. नेक्स्ट वन, as per the RBI corporate governance norms mentioned above, identify the value of X. What is the value of X? Quorum requirement of the board meeting. Quorum requirement of this particular meeting. What is the quorum requirement? 2/3 is the quorum requirement. Okay, 2/3 is the quorum requirement. Acha, what is quorum? Minimum number of members that should be there in the meeting. Minimum number of directors that should be there in the meeting. Next one, as per the RBI corporate governance guidelines, the chair of the board may be included as the member of the risk management committee only if he or she is possessing the following qualification. If you want to become a member of the risk management committee, तो क्या एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए? रिस्क मैनेज करने की एक्सपर्टीज होनी चाहिए ना, और क्या होनी चाहिए? रिस्क मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्टीज, राइट. अब बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है यार, क्वेश्चन के अंदर ही आंसर दे रखा है. रिस्क मैनेजमेंट कमेटी में तो रिस्क मैनेज करना ही आनी चाहिए, राइट. सो दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय एंड गाइस. थोड़ा सा जल्दी लेना पड़ा मुझे लास्ट का 10 मिनट, बिकॉज आई एम हैविंग अ क्लास एट 2 PM. ओके, और कल मोस्ट प्रोबेबली आपका नेक्स्ट सेशन हो जाएगा रिलेटेड टू प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर. तो वापस मिलते हैं कल 1 PM पे. ओके, एंड इफ यू आर सीकिंग फॉर अ मेंटोरशिप, यू कैन चेक द 101 मेंटोरशिप बैच एज वेल एज द crash batch of Oliveboard. Plus if you want to give the previous year question, you can come to the Oliveboard site और वहाँ पे आप 2024 का फ्री में previous year question paper दे सकते हो. Okay guys, so thank you so much, bye bye, take care, मिलते हैं कल 1 बजे. आगे बहुत सारे सेशंस हैं आप लोगों के लिए. ओके, सो ट्राई करो कि सारे लाइव अटेंड करो and try to interact as much as possible. Okay guys, bye bye, take care, see you soon.